dramatic end to a day that's been filled with it. The first face-to-face meeting between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, for starters, who missed most of the afternoon session at this G20 summit on, of all things, climate change. The US delegation is digging in for a nail-biter. Negotiators could have their work cut out for them to come up with something all members can live with.
As you all know, most participants have acknowledged the Paris Treaty. It'll be very interesting how we phrase the communique tomorrow to make clear that there are dissenting opinions on this, since the United States plans to pull out of this agreement.
China's ruled out a climate statement without US backing, so it's unanimous agreement or nothing at all. That's not the only major sticking point. As Xi Jinping called for an open world economy at a meeting of BRICS countries, America still threatens protectionist tariffs on cheap Chinese steel imports. Europe apparently prefers an alternative, jointly pressuring Beijing.
I think we want to work together. I think you're going to see the United States, our delegation specifically discussing steel. We are going to put out what our priorities are. We're going to look to find where there are points of synergy, and I think there are points of convergence with our European allies, and absolutely that will be one of our top priorities.
Those tracking these summits say there's never been one quite like this.
The hype is really appropriate because this is the first failed G20 summit that could happen if the leaders don't come together and get it right. And today we're still off to a somewhat rocky start, so we still don't know how it'll land. A good move forward on terrorism, on some other issues, but the big divides on trade and climate change are still there.
It's been pretty unique outside the venue too. Police said they were ready, they weren't quite. More have been drafted in as street violence rumbles on.
On the streets, it's descended into chaos again. Inside the safe zone, they've still got another day to try and make it work. The German Chancellor spoke of accommodating different views while keeping principles intact. Well, she may need all the experience of a Chancellor on track for a fourth term in office to make both those things happen before this summit's out. Guy Henderson, CGTN, Hamburg.